Hi, we just finished 6.5 video A. So now we are working on 6.5 video B. We're talking about simplifying a complex fraction. So here we go. The easiest way to do these type of problems is this. I like to combine whatever's up here completely together. I have this bad feeling that it's the exact same problem that we started with. No, it's not. All right. There are so many different ways to do these problems. I personally like to combine everything, and these are subtraction, you have to just kind of combine them. I try to combine everything that's in the numerator together, and I try to just make it easier and simpler. So what I'm going to do is this. 2/3, and once again, I do not like subtraction problems, so I'm going to change this to addition and make that its opposite. Plus -1/4. I know that the common denominator is 12 because 3 times 4 is 12. Whatever I do to 3 to get 12, I multiply it by 4. I have to multiply this by 4. That gives me 8. Same thing over here. I times this by 3 because that gives me 12. So I have to times this up here by 3. That gives me a -3. So it ends up with 12 in my denominator, and when I take 8 plus a -3, it gives me 5. So up here, I know that the numerator is 5/12. Divided by, now I have to clean up the bottom one, the denominator. So I'm going to get 4/9 plus 1/2. Well, my common denominator is going to be 18. The reason why? 9 times 2 is 18. What would I do to 9 to get 18? I times it by 2. Whatever I do here, I must do to the top. 2 times 4 is 8. Do the same thing here. Times this by 9, times this by 9. Now my denominator is 18. My numerator is going to be 17. Now it's a division problem. I personally cannot do this problem this way. So the way I write it out, so I can visually see it, I do 5/12 divided by 17/18. Well, I leave the first fraction alone, change it to multiplication, flip the second fraction. Now, if you can reduce it beforehand, please do. I know that 6 can go into 18 3 times. 6 goes into 12 twice. Now, 5 times 3 is 15. 2 times 17 is 34, I believe. All righty, next one. Same thing, this is just really weird. I don't like subtraction problems, so I'm going to change that to addition, make that its opposite. So again, I have 2 plus -6 over a. I need to get a common denominator. Common denominator is going to be a, because in reality, there's a 1 here. Now, I would multiply this by a. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So this is going to be 2a. I don't have to do anything with this one. So I end up with a is my denominator, 2a minus 6. And you're done. Okay. So I'm going to just go one step ahead. My denominator is a here. I notice that the 2 and the 6, they both share a 2. So I'm going to just write it out like this. 3. I had a little brain spur there. All right, so that's that one. Now I'm going to have to do this one down here. It's going to be 3 over 1 plus 4 over a. So again, it might take you just a tiny bit more work, but I promise you it's helpful. Get a common denominator. Now, I'm going to have to multiply this by a. I have to multiply this by a. So I get 3a here, and I don't have to do anything with that one. So this is going to be 3a plus 4 all over a. So I don't like the way that looks, so I'm going to rewrite it. All over a divided by 3a plus 4 all over a. Leave the first fraction alone. Change it to multiplication, flip the second fraction. Now here's the fun part. If you notice, these a's can be canceled out, so do that now. So your answer is going to be 2 times a minus 3 all over 3a plus 4. And you're done. That's your answer. Can't do anything else. Let's move on. Let's do the next one. All right. Oh my goodness. Same thing. You're going to have to take what's in this numerator up here, and you're going to have to combine them. 2 a squared b plus 3ab squared. You got to find a common denominator, first of all. So, and remember, we always want the, my goodness, I've been sitting all day. It's killing me. Okay. So first of all, you want, if they both have an a, you pick the one with the largest exponent. Okay. So we both have an a squared. They both have a b, and you pick the one with the largest exponent. So that's going to be b squared. What would you do to make this look like this? Well, you'd multiply it by b. Whatever you do to the bottom, you've got to do to the top. 2 times b is 2b. Now, same thing here. You want to make this look like this down here. The only thing missing is an a, because a times a is a squared. Whatever you do to the bottom, you got to do to the top. That gives you 3a. So I can tell you right now that the numerator up here will be 3a plus 2b all over a squared, b squared. Now, we have to do the bottom of this one. Again, I don't like subtraction problems, so I'm going to change this to addition, make that its opposite. Just makes life easier. Now, I've got 4a squared, b squared, plus negative 1 over ab. Well, to get a common denominator, they both have to have an a squared, and they both have to have a b squared. Okay? So, this one's missing nothing, so it's just going to be 4 in the top. This one here is missing an AB. So you're going to multiply this by AB. So that's going to give you a negative AB. So here you're going to get 4 minus AB all over a squared b squared. Now again, I don't like the way this is written, so I do take my time. I write it over again, and I know you guys are all thinking, but I don't want to write it again. I promise you it would be very, very helpful if you do. It's visual, and it helps you guys see it better. Now, you leave and I've been writing this all day long. I've done like 3 chapters so far, so it's been a long day. If I can do it, you can do it. All right, so we leave the first fraction alone. Leave the first fraction alone. Change the division sign to multiplication, flip the second fraction. And you're left with reducing. This whole thing cancels out with this whole thing, and that's all you can do. Can't do anything else. You're left with 3a plus 2b all over 4 minus ab. And there's your answer. Let's go on to the next one. Oh my goodness gracious, there's more. All right, let's keep going. This one's nicer. I don't have to do anything with it, but I don't like the way it's written. So I'm going to call it 2x plus 3 over x minus 4 divided by. Now, I know that that is a difference of squares because I can square root 4x squared and 9, and it's separated by a minus sign. So I know I'm going to have 2 sets of parentheses. One will have a plus sign, one will have a minus sign. 4x squared, when you square root it, you get 2x. Square root of 9 is 3. So that's a difference of squares. Now the bottom is also a difference of squares because you can square root x squared, you can square root 16. There's a minus sign between them. So I know I'm going to have 2 sets of parentheses. One will have a plus sign, one will have a minus sign. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 16 is 4. Okay? So that's done. Now, I can't do anything with the first fraction, just rewrite it. If you want to put them in parentheses, you can. Change the division sign to multiplication, flip them. So I have x plus 4 in the numerator and x minus 4 in the numerator. And I have 2x plus 3 and 2x minus 3. Now again, anything divided by itself is 1. So this cancels out with this. This cancels out with this. And you're left with x plus 4 in the numerator, and you're left with 2x minus 3 in the denominator, and there's your answer. All right, let's jump to the next problem. All right, negative exponents. Don't even panic about them. We will take care of them as we go. We have some options here. However, I'm going to put them as fractions because I can see them better. Because there's nothing I can do with this at the moment at all. So I'm going to make them look like fractions. So I'm going to get 1 over a squared, because that's what a to the negative second is, plus 1 over b, all over 1 over a, minus 5. And remember, on this one, the only thing that has the negative exponent is the b. So the b comes down here in the bottom. All right. So let me take care of the numerator first. I'll worry about the denominator later. So 1 over a squared plus 1 over b. Well, on this one, they both have to have an a squared. They both have to have a b. You're going to ask yourself, what here is missing? Well, you're missing a b. So you're going to times this by b, and you get b here. What's missing here? Well, a squared's missing. So you're going to multiply this by a squared, and you're going to get a squared here. Now, you get a squared b, because now we have another, sorry, hang on a second. And then this one up here, you're going to get a squared plus b. And that's it for that one. So I'm going to go over here and write it out. A squared plus b over a squared. Whoops. Let me just erase it for a minute. Just take me a minute. There. So this is going to be a squared plus b over a squared b. That's that first one. Now this bottom one here, remember, I don't like subtraction problems, so I'm going to change that to addition and make that its opposite. It just helps me. I don't know why, but it does. So I'll do it over here. 1 over a plus a negative 5 over b cubed. Again, got to have a common denominator. They both have to have an a. They both have to have a b cubed. So what you're going to do is you're going to ask yourself, what's missing here? Well, b cubed is missing. If it's missing here, you're going to multiply it up here. So that gives you b cubed. Here, you're missing an a, so you're going to times that by a. That gives you a negative 5a. So you get it. It's going to be b cubed minus 5a over a b cubed. Okay, so I'm going to end up writing this down here. I could have written the negative 5a first. I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't, so not a big deal. Commutative property, not a big deal. All right, so now I don't like the way that looks. I'm going to write it out as a squared plus b over a squared b divided by b cubed minus 5a over a b cubed. Remember, we leave the first fraction alone. We change the division sign to multiplication. We flip the second fraction. All righty. You can reduce it if you want to. I'm going to just go ahead and do that now. I hope it's okay. A goes into a once. A goes into a squared, a times. B cubed divided by b leaves you with b squared. I hope you can understand that part. So then you multiply the numerators, you get b squared times a squared plus b. Leave it like that. You don't have to worry about anything. On the bottom, you're left with a times b cubed. Oh, yeah, you don't have to actually distribute it out. You could if you want to, but you don't have to. And that is it. Can't do anything else. You're finished. That's your answer. All right. Let's go down here to the next one. I think this is our last one, and we're almost finished. Okay. So again, oh my goodness, break this down and turn it into a fraction. So 1 over x cubed plus 2 over y to the first. Now, the reason why I have it that way is because the only thing that has a negative exponent is the y. And then this one here is y to x cubed. All right. So I do have to combine these, give me a common denominator. The common denominator would be x cubed y, x cubed y. You're going to ask yourself, what's missing here is y, times this by y. You're going to ask yourself here, what's missing? X cubed, and you get 2x cubed. So on the top here, I get Just going to add those together. 2x cubed plus y all over x cubed y. And here I get y plus 2x cubed. Well, I don't like the way that looks, so I'm going to write, and since this one's written as, I don't mind, 2x cubed plus y over x cubed y divided by, it doesn't matter, they're both positive. I can rewrite it as this. Does not matter. I can rewrite it like that. Now, because this is a fraction and this isn't, I'm going to make this a fraction. Remember, we leave the first, let me go over here. We leave the first fraction alone. We change the division sign to multiplication. We flip the second fraction. Now, if you notice this whole thing, this whole thing cancels out with this whole thing. And you're left with 1 over x cubed y. Oh my goodness, this was a long section. And we're done. All right. We'll see you in the next unit. After the next section. We still have one more section.